if these gaps are respected, then downside is most likely going to happen. We do have 15460 as the sell side. And I don't think that this London sweep is enough for me. So 245 low right there. Then if you look at this sweep, so we'll see if we want to continue higher. Do have a breaker in here, high or low, high, lower, low, breaker. Those two last up closing candles for the move lower. Yes, I'm assuming is climbing above their 5-minute gap. Yeah, so closing above the 5-minute gap. So I am favoring upside for the short term. Expect NQ to catch up in some way. Don't have any 1-minute bisis yet on ES. NQ, nothing either. Do have this breaker that I'll mark out. Still nothing yet. No 1-minute bisis. You have an implied fair value gap, I guess you could say right here. If you took the low to high, you could also use OTE. Dip lower B into this order block here. So watch how we use this order block. Not favoring anything right now. I don't think it's clean enough to really jump into anything. I think this order block would also be in slightly in discount. Like the 2-minute, do have 2-minute gap possibly. Yeah, I do have a 2-minute gap there. So that could be used as a potential. So look at the 2-minute gap there, right here. Remove this, and then 5 points would be right up to here as a potential. Let me screenshot this, I'll send it over to predictions as well. Right in there. So I'd like to see this order block maybe tapped, but don't know where the stop would be. It's like 3-minute really quick. Oops. So 3-minute gap here as well filling. Now I'm favoring NQ because it's a little bit got more. It's got more move. I can't speak. It's got more room to run off of this bisi here. So we'll see if it wants to continue higher. 20 points from here would be up. Now I was saying taking longs in this is a little bit sketch to me, just because we do have a lot of sibis here, balance price range, stuff like that. That's of interest to me. Could take a demo trade here. I want to see how this candle is respecting this 2-minute gap though. Guess we'll put one on there. So take profit right at the 20-point mark, right up in there. Stop loss I think below here would be fine for the most part. Now respecting, I put it right at the order block, which maybe hit. As long as this fills the gap and we stay closing either above it or below, or above 50% of the gap, then we should be fine. This is a very conservative stop loss. But if you look at the 2-minute, or the 3-minute rather, there's the gap you're looking for. So looking for continuation after the sweep of London. We can put the execution labels on really quick. So still closing above 50% of that gap there, which I'm liking. So now watch as we hopefully climb. I want to see it close above the blue gap, and then continuing up into the 20 points. Now it could also put the limit a little bit higher up into this sibi here, which I need to remove some of this really quick. Could put the limit right up there. It's a little bit aggressive, but we'll see if we want to climb up. Now my thought process there is, since we are climbing, closing mostly above this, I like to see it close above this gap, and ES is also a bit higher. I want to see it tap maybe into this sibi up here, which I think it is its own 3-minute gap. Yeah, 3-minute gap up here. So we'll see how we want to climb up, hopefully, and take that out. Now I'm going to move the stop up to accommodate the entire low of the fair value gap, since we are closing above it now. Don't want to see it return lower. Moving stop. So if we come down here and get stopped out, that's perfectly fine by me. I like to see it reject here. Look at ES. So ES is filling their 3-minute gap, doing the same thing. 5 points a little bit higher. You look at the 3-minute gap, we tap into the order block I mentioned on the 1-minute, right? There's the order block tap. Then we have that 3-minute gap here, right in here. So we want to see at least 5 points from there, I guess, so you can lower this a little bit. I'll mark this out with an alarm. And then we can go back to NQ really quick. So looking good so far. Now I want to see this candle again close above the blue shaded area, back into the sibi, limit order. Now normally if you were really aggressive, you could trade the stop back to these lows here, or potentially to break even, since I would consider this a balanced price range for the most part. But we'll just keep it where it is, just because it is NFP today, and I don't want to get too greedy with, you know, taking things off or trimming stop losses too tight. Now, I mean, a rule of thumb in general for ICT concepts is if you have a trade setup that forms either a macro or silver bullet or whatever your setup may be, even a 2022 model, it's always good to take partials instead of moving your stop, because partials always pay, rather than stop movements. You can still lose money in the long term if the stop or if the trade runs all the way against you. So if you can keep your stop where it is and then take profit at reasonable points, like swing lows, swing highs, 50% of the range, imbalances like this, then that will overall fund your position. And if you get stopped out, then it's not as big of a deal as a full stop out with all contracts if you're trading multiple contracts. If you're trading just one contract, I would say just take partial at the minimum, which for me with these demo trades is 20 points. So I'm fine with letting it run past that 20 points just for demo purposes. But as a rule of thumb, taking partials is always better than moving your stop loss. See what ES is doing, tapping into the 3-minute gap once more. I'm not liking this too much. I want to see it expand. Having some trouble close above this 1-minute gap here. About to get the stop out, most likely. No. Yeah, there you go. There's a stop out. So, something to learn from, right? Don't care if it's profitable, but it's a demo trade. So, something to learn from there. Look at the 5-minute. So that's why you may not want to drag your stop loss all the way up, especially on these days you don't need to be aggressive on. So we'll see now if we want to continue. ES also wouldn't have been stopped out. So we'll wait. For me, the next opportunity would be silver bullet, or not silver bullet, 1050 macro. Since for me, if I take a loss during one of the trading ideas, I will not, re-enter on that same exact time frame. Or time allotment, if that makes sense. So 950 macro, if you take a loss there, you move to 1050 macro or 1150 macro, and then past that, I wouldn't even look at the PM session if you take 2 losses in a session. Give me 1 second. Okay, we're back. So just tape reading right now. Got the stop out on ES and in Q most likely, right? So that's what I was saying about the longs being a little bit sketch, because do have those sibis up here that will cause some resistance, and you can see by the way we reacted here, got that resistance and now trading a little bit lower. So that's why I don't really like silver bullet as much as the macros. Let's check on CL, just because the way that they perform, sometimes a little bit hard to see unless it's a clear direction, and preferably it's with a draw on liquidity, either London or something of that nature. For PM session, it would be lunch, swing high and swing low. Otherwise, just normal high time frame draw on liquidity. Now I do have a large run up here on DXY. I look for replication, inverse replication on the indices, which would mean some downside move. So we got this gap here we're using potentially, and then can remove these executions really quick. Got that same gap right here, tiny one. I didn't check at the opening range gap. Okay, we filled it. Never mind. So from that sibi, I would look for a run lower, 20 points from here, which isn't super far away. But that would be your 20-point mark. Touchy 40 points. I don't think that's unreasonable either. There's a 20-point mark. 40 points would be right down here. I think is possible. Getting close to it. Trading within this inversion for value up now. Let me remove that for the time being. Outline this one. So you can see it's a low probability day, right? A lot of wicks, a lot of back and forth between drawn liquidities, a lot of disrespect of PD arrays. You can almost see a 2022 model right here. If we didn't sweep out the buy side, I guess you could also say it's a market maker sell model. That would also work. So as long as DXY keeps running up, sell side draw, I'm assuming will be hit. Remember that London is still of interest to me. Let me mark this out really quick. Let me screenshot this. I'll send it over to predictions chat really quick. So keep watching this. Now watch this swing low all the way down here. You can see the market maker sell. They're a very, very rough market maker sell model, but it is one nonetheless. Let me screenshot this really quick. Potential on YM. So that's the bias for now. The market maker sell on YM being the leader. Can also kind of see it on ES and NQ, not as much, but I would expect, since this sibi was filled, we got SMT divergence at the highs, that we still see the London swing low hit. You know, you got that sell side down there, but overall it's just a London swing low. Then the sell side at 15,460. So about to continue down into the 40 points. Looking good, looking good. There's the 40-point mark, bagged and tagged. Yes, also has a lot of room to run into their sell side. Now this is just all I was looking for, the minimum. Still looking for this low, but that was the minimum. So if we do want to reverse here, since we are trading within the breaker technically, that's fine. But I don't think we'll reverse at all. I think we'll continue lower with how heavy the market is right now. Filling the gap, SMT divergence, market maker sell model, all those, plus the higher time frame draw and liquidity being lower. That's all in tandem for me to look for that lower move there. Also this 1 minute gap here, tiny one, super small. Let me take a screenshot really quick of the demo trade that I took. Try and space it out. So here's what I'm looking at. So if you look at future trades really quick, I'll put it up right there. Another 1 minute gap there. And we got the last partial set for that sell side liquidity if you're looking at the screenshot. Put an alarm down here really quick. Now I want to make sure DXY is also continuing to run up, which it is. Nice. Huge run up there. Now I don't know what the high time frame liquidity is on DXY, so let's do that now. I don't want it to reverse prematurely. All the way up here. Consequent encroachment of this wick is interest of me right here. If you look at the hourly, I'm sure you can find something as well. Yep, this gap. Wicks are inefficiencies. If you did not know that, wicks are considered inefficient. So 50% of wicks are something you can look at, especially on higher time frames, like the hourly, 4-hour, daily. Those wicks, large wicks, you want to pay attention to. A lot of the times you'll see a retracement into 50%, 25%, 75% of those wicks which if you look at a lower time frame than the one that you're looking at, so if you look at the 4 hour really quick, whoops, no, 4 hour on this one, there you go. So look at this wick up here from 7 a.m. on Tuesday. Then if you look at the 30-minute chart, here's the 7 a.m. on Tuesday. You can see that wick was just up and down and inefficient price delivery right here in this gap. So you can refine this down even more to roughly right there. So as long as the XR wants to continue to climb up to here, I'm sure we'll see some lower movements on the indices. Nice market maker sell model here on CL as well. Watch this as the drawn liquidity. Right there. I'll put that on the 9 indices really quick. Volume imbalance right here. Right. Now I don't know what the continuous contract is for CL. It's October still. Yep. Alright, we're good. Going back to the indices. Thank you, starting to climb up. Don't like this move. I would like to see it return lower. Let's see what it wants to do. Got stopped out there on the last partial. Still favoring the sell side though. We'll look at the higher time frames really quick. So 2 minute filling a gap. Nothing on 3 or 4. And we got instant rejection there. So let me annotate that in future trades really quick. Could put a demo on right here. Put take profit at the low. Obviously just demo trade. But context, we got market maker sell model, drawn liquidity at 15,460 down here. And then came up, filled the 3 minute gap or the 2 minute gap right there. Wicked lower, closed within it. And now we're hopefully can get some continuation and expansion lower into the sell side, which is what I'm looking for. It's a good 50 points or so below, so plenty of room to run and take partials. 20 points right here. So 20 points about to be hit soon. Want to make sure DXY is popping up still, which we do have this 30-minute imbalance up here. Like to see it ran out. NQ dropping off nicely. Don't know why this is here. Oh, it's this swing low, that's why. Now once we close below here, I would like to see some speed, meaning once we close below here we should just have a quick acceleration down candles into the 20 points and ultimately into the sell side. So we wicked back into the 2-minute gap. I would like to see it close below here, below the red shaded area. So let me mark this 20 point out really quick. Still tapping around the 2-minute gap. We do have a breaker here that we're trading within as well. Now, consolidation around 50% is expected. So if you look at 50%, we're right at 50% of this current dealing range. So it's not surprising that we're chopping around here. But I would still like to see continuation. Yeah, and after we get this sweep, we should easily get the 20 points and easily get the sell side. I don't want to see it sweep this and then return back up for the buy stops. I want to see it continue quickly. So you can see we're still closing below it. Didn't get any acceleration into the downside yet, which is what we're waiting for. There we go, starting to get some movement there. So look at the 20 points. Now I want to see it close below here, and we get that speed lower. Which I believe is 20 points here. Yeah, plenty. 20 points from here. Yep, right at the 20. Okay, we're good. About to reach that 20. I think we just wicked into it. There we go. There is the 20 point mark. Still looking for the sell side now. Want to see speed. Approaching the 1050 macro as well. I'm going to move this stop right up to here and keep it there. We'll just wait for the sell side potentially to be hit. If you have any questions, you can put them up in the prophecy chat. 1031 order block touch, probably 1031 right here. 1031. Oh, right here, yes. I'm assuming that was a touch into order block. Climbed up, tapped into here, which I would consider an order block right here. Tapped into it, traded back lower. Now let's wait and see for that juicy sell side to be hit. I'm going to move the stop now back into profit. Now I would like to see this used as a breakaway gap. I don't want to see a return all the way back up to here. I want to see it continue to just dump off. So DXY just climbed up into their hourly inefficiency, which DXY climbing should mean indices want lower prices, which we were getting that lower price movement here. We want to see it continue as DXY hopefully pops up a little bit deeper into their imbalance, and indices can at least take out the sell side down here, specifically NQ. Partially also because we do have the London swing low that we barely swept by maybe 2 points or so, 2 or 3 points. So I want to see a deeper retracement past that sell side, and then ultimately looking for the sell side down here. Yes, I'm at 480, 75, and then some here at 60. So immediate rebalance right there. Want to see it now just dump off, hopefully. We're in the 1050 macro time as well. So now it's possible we do get a retracement up into that breakaway and then use that to propel price into 15,460. Preferably we do hit the sell side before that though. I don't want to see a retracement back into the breakaway gap. Which it looks like it might be doing. Let's look at ES really quick. So YM, we got that market maker sell model, as you can see. Still looking for the low end to be hit. ES got the same exact thing. Order block right here we just tapped into perfectly. That's algorithmic precision right there. Now we'll see if we want to continue. So we'll see if we touch on this breakaway now. I'm still favoring it just to accelerate lower when we leave it open, but since it's macro time, it's possible we get a touch into here. I want to see at least 50% of it left unfilled. So we're leaving it unfilled for now. Haven't ran up into it yet. We'll see if this candle wants to close bearishly. So we closed below the gap again. Not sure if it's a 2-minute gap. Yeah, we are trading within a 2-minute gap. Okay. And a 3-minute gap. So we'll see if that 2-minute gap wants to hold, and then we are leaving the 1-minute gap unfilled. At least 50% of it. Now if this swing high is left as the swing high, expect it not to be ran out. So if we close bearishly here, possibly below this tiny gap, so below right here, if we close below this, expect this not to be swept out anymore, and you can see acceleration into the downside. So if we do close below there, which did get a bearish close there, left that as this swing high, I want to see it continue, and then I can move the stop to the low end of the breakaway. So YM just finished their market maker sell model. Tempted to move that right there. I want to see it close below this X line. Then hopefully quick expansion. There we go. Just got to close below the X. And then next 3 candles or so, I want to see it hit. Obviously before 10:10, 11:10 rather. Preferably before 11 o'clock. So next, I'll give the next 3 to 4 candles. So we got that expansion lower below the X line, and then need to see continuation. We're roughly 4 points away from the sell side. Don't want to see any deeper retracement now. I'll move the stop again to here. Don't really need to at all, but just moving it anyways. I can put on the execution labels as well. So in the next 2 minutes I want to see it hit. This should also be left open as a breakaway gap. Don't want to see it filled. And here comes the sell side. There we go. Sell side liquidity bagged and tagged. Still looking for 15460 as a potential. But there is the run into the sell side, market maker sell model. I'll screenshot this, send it over to futures trades. Let me respond to the futures trades. Okay, there we go. So there's the London session low, bagged and tagged. Still looking for 15460. And beautiful delivery there on the 1050 macro. Absolutely gorgeous. Ran up into the 2-minute gap. So if we look at this, so if we switch this really quick. So beautiful run up into the 2-minute gap. Dumped all the way lower into sell side. And then if you look at the 1-minute gap, we did leave it completely unfilled as expected with the breakaway on the top. So look for 15460. I'll call that a morning. I think that was quite successful and productive. I think we were able to learn multiple things from the morning session, and hopefully we were able to capture that market maker sell model there on NQ. So until next week, be safe. I will see you guys most likely on Monday. Yep, Monday, assuming that there's no news that'll mess everything up. I know CPI and FOMC are probably coming up in the next 2 weeks, so be aware of that. I'll send out the economic calendar probably early on in the week, so you'll be aware of that. Rest of the day, stay safe, use risk management rules, and do not do anything stupid. So I can see you guys all on Monday. So stay safe, good luck, good trading, and peace out.